Jordan!
Man!
Who went for a peaceful walking in the forest, spied a gorgeous Bigfoot walking in a clearing, fell in love at first sight, left his human family without a second thought, made crazy, passionate love right there and then, straight up against a tree, and is expecting their first baby squatch early in the new year?
Bob Marley?
No! Two guys! Hello, and welcome to episode 105 of Two Guys What's Up, where today I'm going to have to bypass my usual pleasantries and instead, ladies and gentlemen, have to ask all of you listening at home to brace yourself, because today we have a very special guest. Long-time listeners of the show will know exactly who I mean when I say these two simple words. Back Moon. Usually not in that order, but I'm guessing you probably guessed it, and we have got him out of cryogenic freezing for one day so he could come on the show and celebrate with us, because yesterday was our resident Jordan's birthday. And as I have said before, and I'm going to say again, at this time of the year, it is party time for us, because along with the usual Christmas and New Year's, we've got Jordan's birthday and my birthday, but there is one more guy, and that guy is this guy. So we have decided to have a little bit of a birthday bash bonanza and invite Mr. Moonback on the show so he can explain to us, in all his words, just what the his problem is. Oh, wait, sorry, I was reading from the wrong script there. That was the angry version in case he decided not to show up. Let me rewind. Hang on there. There we go. So he can explain to us just how the he's doing. Paul, how are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you for having me on the show.
Mate, you're looking fantastic with your glass of wine over there. I love the little head wobble with it as well. Grand, thank you, sir.
Well, you know, I'm a changed person these days.
A little swill of the glass as well that did it for me.
Oh, yeah.
I noticed you were a changed person when you showed up at my door and you didn't kiss me first.
It's been a while since I've seen you. We've got history.
Lips puckered you like, mate, not today.
But hang on, you told me earlier that you were really looking forward to that.
I was, mate. That was usually my favourite part of seeing Paul. It's all downhill after the kiss.
I'm sorry, dude. It's been a while since I've been in this town.
That is why he's drinking.
It is, yeah, just to be able to bear
Just to
some
forget.
time with me.
I should clarify to everyone, I am not drinking alcohol, but I am surrounded by two men that are.
Yep,
Yeah.
two guys, you know, more on brand.
Yeah,
True.
I'm a little bit disappointed that you're not drinking, to be honest, because I thought it was going to get a bit messy.
I mean, it's still might.
I've got my iron blue and water.
I do.
Guys, I'd just like to say something before you get stuck into the meat and potatoes of this.
Are we having dinner?
No, well, we can do if you want. Just as from someone who was a big fan of the show,
Okay.
and a self-professed super fan, actually.
Is there someone else coming? Is there?
No, there's no one. Yeah, and here's Bruce Forsyth. It's just that I want to say that how incredibly proud of you both that I am, and how amazing this podcast is. And I said this to you earlier, but I wanted to say it on record that
Thank
you've
you very
redefined
much.
my Mondays, and I mean that genuinely. It's not just because there's a microphone.
This is really wholesome.
You've made my Mondays amazing. I'll look forward to Mondays. Mondays are a day that everybody hates usually and everybody dreads, but my Mondays have become a whole new thing now because of you guys. I love it, and I'm so proud of you both.
That is really sweet.
You read scripts better than I do.
Yeah, I have spent the last 5 days saying that in my head. No, I haven't really. But no, I just wanted to say that because I think you're both amazing, and it's a really funny podcast, and it's great.
Thank you
That's
very
super
much.
nice. It's just going to go downhill now. Because now I have to live up to that. It's better, I think, to leave them wanting more than expecting more.
Yeah, no, you're both fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
I think you're going to go far. That's my prediction.
With you.
With me tonight.
What's that?
Finally going to give me that kiss.
When this wine kicks in,
I'm anybody's.
Oh, that's super sweet. Thank you, Paul.
you're more than welcome, guys. You deserve it.
Can I say, by the way, as it is a birthday celebration, you must have thought ahead and you must have thought, we'll bring in something because it's his birthday. So what did you get me?
Well, I'm here.
Yeah, that's arguably a present. Jordan?
And I'm here despite all the snow.
For fuck's sake, right.
I came from Leeds, Jordan.
Well, you see, the news said travel only if it's essential. And I thought, you know what? It's essential.
This is definitely
True.
essential.
So I'm here.
I mean, I feel a little bit, don't know, because I've got you a present.
Have you?
You can't have it because you're driving. Hit right, Paul. You'll be able to have a little bit of this present.
Present.
I'm not joking. I've got you a birthday present.
Well, I do feel bad now.
And yes, it might be because my wife put it out the fridge and I don't want to drink it, so I thought I'd pass it off as a birthday present, right? But I didn't want to say that, but I'm hard to get out the bag.
Well, I heard a very distinct clink then.
I've got it. Here we go.
What the hell is that?
Oh, mate.
I know that you're covering the label with your hand.
Oh,
Doesn't take much though, does it? Giant fingers.
fucking troll hands. I want you to have a sniff and tell me what you think it is.
Try, bear with me. This isn't what I thought it was.
What did you think it was?
I thought it was absinthe.
Oh, God, no.
So did
I
I.
have some of that at home.
Mint cake liquor with chocolate.
Read the word above it.
Pennington's Kendall.
Kendall mint cake.
Oh, I've been to Kendall.
You ever heard of mint cake? Kendall
I
mint
have.
cake, yeah?
Yeah.
It's like a little bar of cake which is very, very sugary that they market for climbers. So when you're up in the mountains, you can have a little bit of this cake and you're like, fucking energy. Boom!
Wow.
Straight up the ass.
Oh.
Wow!
Is that how it's ingested?
That was a radio advert.
Oh, thank you.
I mean,
I noticed that there's no lid on it. It's an open bottle.
I mean, it's an open bottle, but part 2 of the present, part 2.
The paper bag that it was in.
Shot glasses.
Yeah, boy.
A little bit of ASMR there.
Love that.
And yeah. Would I like to take a shot of the drink? Want to pour you a drink?
Ian, I just want to say something. I was worried about me drinking and joining you guys on your podcast.
Yep.
And you were like, "Oh, just take it easy, you know. Don't put." And
Don't
you
you get smashed?
you
And then I present you with Kendall mint cake vodka. Yeah.
Kendall mint cake, vodka, and shot glasses. Did you go to Kendall recently?
No, I ordered it off Amazon.
That's not like you.
I don't know.
Wow, you ordered Kendall mint cake vodka from Amazon. That guy who owns that store was so happy that somebody bought something from his shop.
He only made the one bottle. Because like, I'm never going to sell this shit. Would you like one?
I would love one, Ian. Thank you.
And I'm pretty sure you're going to piss yourself because it's amazing.
Thank you. I love mint choc, you know I do. So, yeah.
I am also drinking, little tip for anyone out there, cider. At the moment, my cider of choice is partially ribbed, so I can't tell you. Henry Weston's...
I honestly thought you said partially ribbed.
For my pleasure. It's Henry Weston's British Vintage. It's a big bottle, 7.3%, mixed with Dr. Pepper. That's the Ian stamp of approval. Oh, yeah. Delish.
Wonder if that's a thing.
Well,
Of course it's a fucking thing. I've just made it.
I have a thing about cider. I'm not a massive cider drinker, but I have a very good memory of Henry Weston cider. I went and stayed in South Wales one time for a very, very hot summer, probably about 20 years ago now. And there was a pub that had that on tap.
Right.
But then it was the hottest summer, you know, it was so hot. But then what they would do is they'd pour you a pint, leave it about an inch from the top, then they'd push the tap forward, and Henry Weston slush would come out and fill the rest of the pint up. And it was the most beautiful summer drink. And I've just realised that I'm just rambling.
No, that's fine. I get it. My drink shit. That's fine.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't have to put it in so many words, but
No,
fine.
it was
it's fine.
amazing.
No, it's fine. You said it now. The damage is done.
And I've stayed in a Best Western before.
No.
Fucking hell.
What I'm saying is, well, do you know what? It was probably from because it's very strong cider.
It is.
Probably from how drunk I was that I thought it was good. What level of desperation does it take for a man to put Dr. Pepper into cider then?
I feel personally attacked.
He really does know you well.
I'm sat here trying to give you a decent drinks recommendation, and you're like, how long have you got to live?
You should try cider and iron brew and see what that's like.
And how desperate does a man have to be to mix iron brew with...
Really
with
fucking desperate.
Here comes a verdict.
That's actually really good.
Damn right. Thank you very much.
That's nice. It's unlike anything I've ever tasted. It's lovely.
Yeah. Thank you.
How was your shot?
I haven't had it yet. I spilt it on my thumb, so I just had a little taste, but shot time.
I'm ready. That is amazing.
Said I brought you a present.
That is incredible. Oh, it's like the Magnum gods have spoken to me.
It's like I've brushed my teeth.
yeah, that's what we actually mean.
With chocolate.
Yeah.
That is what you brush your teeth with.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of which, I went out today and I had 2 fill-ins.
Oh.
Because 2 that I had in the last 6 months fell out.
Did they just say, do you happen to drink a lot of alcohol?
And I said,
It's dissolved.
who do you fucking think you are?
Is that true, Jordan?
No.
Oh.
I don't think so. It might be. So what on earth are we doing today?
We're just having a fucking party, mate, because like I said in the intro, it's all of our birthdays, or not in right now, but at podcast time. Yesterday was your birthday. In a few days, it's Mr. Moonback's birthday. And a few days after that, it's my birthday. So, it's party central time.
Perfect.
But, Mr. Moonback, you have told me you have prepared some spooky stories that you have experienced in your life.
Well, I sort of used my best ammunition on episode, I think it was 25. Those were my sort of like, my go-to. I'm happy to reiterate a few things about those, right? But the stories I have got are from the house that I mentioned in my second story.
You know what, mate? I didn't know about those stories. The ones you sent in about your house. The one where you're like desperate for a piss and you heard that fucking woman downstairs say, "Who's up there?"
She was angry and she was trying to get whoever was in her house out.
Wow. From your real past memory now, could you try and relive and re-say what you remember that to be?
Absolutely. I can hear it. It's burnt into my memory. She said it was like with venom.
Do you want to recreate it?
Yeah, it was.
So you be Paul, I'll be the woman.
Well, I'll be the woman because I remember.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a bit of a better actor than you, probably.
But I heard it.
You know, after 100 episodes of this.
All right, then. Oh, do you know what? Let's do it. You go.
Okay.
You be the woman.
Right.
So I'm reaching for the doorknob on the bathroom.
Okay. I'm walking around. Okay, right, go. Who's upstairs?
That is so far from what happened.
I hate the fact that that's probably going to replace it in your memory now. When you're thinking about it.
Who's in my house?
Then you realise, it isn't my house.
Yeah.
It's a burglary.
Then I had to take my fucking balaclava off.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
No, it was very different to that.
I'll be Paul.
Remember, I'm not a woman, and she was probably like in the late 1800s.
Okay.
Maid, or like a woman of the house, or a matriarch or something.
And they used to sound so different back then.
Ready? Who's up there?
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, it was venomous.
Wow.
Right, I retold those stories a few days ago to my sister who lived at that house. Because we had a few drinks. We like retelling them to each other. You know, it's like one of those things. Right, the story about the church man, person, ghost thing was terrifying, but it was so long ago that I seem to have been numbed to the horror of it.
Yeah.
Was it like sort of Slender Man-esque? Or have I just made that up in my own
No,
head?
I understand why you think that because of the way I described him. He had long hair. And I know this sounds really weird, but from neck up, he sort of looked like Tommy from the Power Rangers.
Maybe it was.
He had long, the long slicked back hair, and he had a
Biker
very gaunt,
helmet.
sort of thin face. That was terrifying, but it was that long ago now that, I feel like I've forgotten how it felt.
Yeah.
But when I think about it, it was horrible. But the story about it in my mum and dad's house, that feels very, very raw still, because I can still feel how I felt when that happened.
Okay.
And I'd like to say, actually, that when it comes to paranormal, I am very skeptic. It takes a lot. When I listen to stories, there's a lot of eye rolling from me.
Yeah.
But it's not to disrespect anybody. I just find it, I don't know, I guess I'm more of a science sort of person. But that thing that happened at my house was like something out of like an Insidious movie.
Yeah.
It was terrifying. Like, even retelling the story makes my spine feel like it's going to stand up on end. It's, my hairs all stand up and it's horrific. Anyway, so going back to that subject, I have some stories, but they're from my sister's account.
Okay.
Of that house. So my sister was telling me about some things that her and my mum both experienced in the very same house. One of them was when I lived in that house with mum and dad. My sister was very young. We lived there from when I was about 12. My sister was 10 years younger than me, and we used to swap rooms quite a lot. If you remember, we used to have our bedrooms, and then we'd get bored and think, do you want to swap bedrooms and redecorate?
Wow, okay.
I remember sleeping at your house one night and you were in where your sister's room was. So not in the one we always used to go in and listen to fucking Science by Incubus.
Correct.
So we're in the other one. I woke up at like 4 a.m. It was summer, boiling. I had a toothache and I was too scared to go downstairs. And I was like, I'm going to have to. So I went downstairs to get some paracetamol and your dad was there. And I was like, oh shit, human, adult person. Yeah, he was like, all right, man. And I was like, oh God, don't look at me.
Yeah.
And so that was fun. So I carry on.
Yeah. So, well, my point was, you knew we used to swap rooms quite often.
Yeah.
And the room I was in when I told my original story at the house with the woman saying who's up there, in that time my sister had the other room. And from my understanding, on several occasions from her bedroom, on a night time, she would hear a very distinct crying coming from the dining room, which you'll remember was directly underneath my sister's bedroom.
Yeah. That's one of the things, which makes my pickle invert, is the thought of just hearing crying somewhere in your house, because you're like, that shouldn't be anyone.
Surely worse would be laughter.
No, because like that could be that. No, because that could be your parents.
Well, when you know you're on your own.
Yeah, well, if you're on your own, but I mean, like she was like 5, so I don't say she wouldn't have been. So like you could think, okay, my parents are watching TV, but if you hear someone distinctly crying, that you're already thinking someone's upset. What the fuck's going on? And you're thinking, why is someone just crying in my house? And if you know your parents are in bed, that's when you're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah. Now, when you live somewhere for a long period of time, you get used to the acoustics. You can tell what room, who's in there by their walking speed, things like this. You get to know those sort of things. Now, my sister said that she could hear that the crying was coming from near the window in the dining room. And you might remember this, Ian, that the dining room in that house was pretty much empty most of the time.
Yeah.
It wasn't even used as a dining room.
No.
It was used as like an Xbox room for me and my dad. It was like the spare room in the house. It was always cold. We never put the heating on in there. It was like,
Plus all the ghosts.
Yeah. And my sister asked my mum, she said, were you crying last night? And my mum would be like, no. My mum wasn't a crier anyway, so.
She was sore as fuck.
Yeah.
I went around once and asked for a slice of bread. She punched me.
She was known for bread punching.
I was like, no, not my bread, no!
Yeah, don't get near a Hovis. But it happened on several occasions, apparently. I didn't hear any of this,
I think I've worked it out.
Yeah.
It was the bread.
Oh, after a good beating that night.
Next story.
Yeah, next.
No, sorry. Go on, carry on,
it's
please.
all good. So yeah, the crying thing, I have no memory of anything like that. The voice down the bottom of the stairs was enough to put me into a panic for months.
So this cry that your sister heard, was that like a male? Was that a female? Was it like young, old kind of
Yeah,
thing? 'Cause-
so the way she described it to me was it was like a young, sobbing female. Like, I'm not going to do it.
Oh, go on. Give us a rendition.
You know what, I'll try. It was like a
Right,
sort of
okay.
thing, but maybe a bit more
Okay.
dramatic than that.
Oh, woe is me.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like a tragic sob, like you'd get in a Shakespeare play or
Yeah,
something.
suck it up.
Right. No more Kendall mint cake for you.
Put the shot down, knock down your gob.
I do have one more short story. I mean, like I said, I'm such a skeptic but that's one of the things that, I can't explain, and then people go, yeah, whatever. But
Yeah. We've had this conversation before. I mean, I went out with James Coppett the other day and experienced something myself in the fucking woods.
yes, I remember hearing that.
Yeah, and I went home to my wife. I was about to start telling her, I was like, fucking craziest thing happened. And as soon as I said it, I was like, this is going to sound mental. She's not going to believe me. She's going to go, oh, you're in a windy forest, got hit by a tree, blah, 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 whatever. But I know I experienced. So when you do experience it, it is burned into your mind and you're like, I am adamant that has just happened.
Yeah.
And when it's something so far removed from the norm, it's not just like a bang or some footsteps, or something that could be misconstrued as something else. It's something clear as fucking day.
Yeah.
It does make you question it. And I fucking hate it when people go, well, I didn't hear it, so prove it happened.
Yeah.
Obviously it didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm that guy in a room where someone will tell a story and I'm like, whatever. I am the sort of obnoxious skeptic, but all I can do is tell the story.
Exactly,
And people can take what they want from it. But I experienced it, and I still get those physical feelings of experiencing it. And I sort of love it.
Yeah.
Because it helps me. Like I said, I've got this huge love of horror and paranormal
Yeah.
films, and my partner always says, like, how can you listen to horror on a night time when you're trying to get sleep? It's like, I just love it. It's soothing. Like, it is.
It is, yeah.
So it's kind of like exciting.
Is there any aspect of the paranormal that just scares the out of you? Like with me, obviously, it's aliens. Jordan over here has a weird fascination with zombies.
I wouldn't call it fascination, first of all.
Blasting them all over the...
Yeah. Oh, that's become a household name for me. Blasting zombies. No, I don't think so. The only thing I can think of is really insidious entities that
Right.
just want to hurt people and just want to cause harm, and they're full of bitterness and venom. Like, that area of paranormal for me is fascinating.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I'm just terrified of sharks.
Especially the haunted kind.
the ghost sharks are the
Ghost
worst.
Like films that have sort of affected me in the past. I mean, I love zombie films, Jordan. I am a huge zombie
don't.
film. Don't you?
It freaks me out, and I'm like, I'd
Yeah.
rather just not see it.
Yeah.
It'd be like you looking at that communion book going,
Ugh.
oh, I bloody love this.
Yeah, fucking horror. Have you ever seen the communion book?
I don't think so.
I'm going to show you. No, actually, Jordan's going to show you because I can fucking look at it.
Okay, cool.
I'll just confirm it to you, Ian, if it's the right one.
No, God, no. Don't show you. I'm sick of you showing me that.
I did once, and he was like, ugh.
Oh, yeah. See, that's just...
Doesn't bother me either.
To me, that's Disney aliens.
Yeah.
No, that's horrific. Absolute. I just caught a glimpse.
That's like a teacher made that for a class
Yeah.
sort of thing for me.
That is totally hand-drawn rubbish crap.
That is what Whitley Strieber said was the best approximation when given to a sketch artist of what he saw.
Okay.
It's awful. It makes me.
Could I just
No,
show you
no.
a different one
No.
that I've never seen before? And
No.
Can I see it, Jordan?
I'm just wondering if you would
Oh,
find
yeah, he'll it along.
So long.
it. Should we try it?
Oh, God. Morbid curiosity. Go on, show me. Just.
Well, no, honestly, if you don't want to.
No, go on. It's fine. Just ease me in.
Are you ready?
Don't be like, nice and gently. Just let me catch a glimpse. If I don't like it, I can look away. Ugh, no, that's the same fucking one.
No, that's a different
It's
picture.
it's very similar.
It is very similar.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Is that worse?
No, well, you keep asking me like if there's some kind of scale. But
There's
I don't
this
know.
one that I don't think you are.
I'm definitely not it. That's awful.
Really? See, to me, that looks like even more of a childish
Yeah,
version.
that's like a Pixar movie.
Okay, right, but picture this. You wake up in the middle of the night, you're groggy, you're like, oh God, oh man, I wonder what time it is. You roll over, and that's by the side of your bed looking at you. Then
Yeah.
all of a sudden you can't move.
Grab this.
I want to ask you a question, and I want to ask you if you believe that aliens exist.
Yes.
You do. Okay, I heard Neil deGrasse Tyson talking to a scientist about...
Oh, that NASA shill. Yeah.
No, talking about if he believes that other civilizations exist.
Right.
And this woman who, I can't remember her name, but she worked for NASA or someone or SETA.
Oh,
or
of course, you fucking does.
And she came up with this really good analogy that puts it into perspective about the possibilities. Neil deGrasse Tyson asked, how much of the observable universe have we explored? He said, can you scale it down so that we can understand? And she said, right, if you scale the observable universe down to the size of all the water and all the oceans on Earth, everything, salt water and fresh water,
Right, yeah.
that's the observable universe. She said, we've explored 1/2 pint glass.
Right.
So she said, right, we want you to go to the ocean. I want you to find out if there's any fish in the ocean.
Yeah.
So we're going to give you this 1/2 pint glass. So you're going to dip that glass into the ocean, look at it and think, no, there's no fish in the ocean.
Yeah, very true.
No, it's not, Ian. There are fish.
What?
That personally put it into perspective for me. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
there are fish everywhere.
Out in space.
I forgot about
Yeah.
aliens. I forgot about aliens completely, and I was like,
Yeah,
"Whoa,
yeah.
fish exist."
yeah, not real. Game over, lads. But, I mean, I found that amazing, personally. I thought, like, that's incredible.
That
does
is
put it
very-
into perspective.
Yeah, never even heard that before.
Yeah, it's really good.
I don't want to sound like a conspiracy nut, right? Because, like you say, people will just label you something. If you say one thing, they'll be like, "Oh, it's fucking mental," right? But my thoughts go deeper than this next one singular sentence that I'm going to say. But Neil deGrasse Tyson is obviously very smart,
Yeah.
very educated, but he's only been educated in the field that he knows in. So he's gone paranormal, load of books. Hasn't looked into it, hasn't thought about it. So, like, if someone came up to you and went, "Oh, ghosts aren't real. Women walking around your house has a load of bullshit. So that's never happened. It's all just fucking house creaking." And then you're like, "Well, I've definitely seen it. I've definitely heard it." They can't speak for you.
Yeah.
And Neil deGrasse Tyson and others like him can't speak for people who have experienced it and seen it. So if he's like getting on TV and being like, "Oh, it's all a load of bollocks," I think everyone has a right to say, "F you."
I understand that, yeah, I do. But the thing is, that also includes the fact that the universe is expanding faster than we can keep up with it.
But there's Drake's equation, which says there should be thousands of civilizations.
Definitely.
But the Fermi paradox is obviously saying, well, if there should be, then where the f are they? But like you say, one cup of water.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's no greys in here. What would you do if you went into the ocean? You dipped a 1/2 pint glass in and you were like, "That's a grey."
Yeah, that's really great. And a cod.
Oh, God, the fish. They're doing unspeakable things.
Yeah. But I think that's the thing with the whole Neil deGrasse Tyson thing, because these are all men that I totally respect. I spend so many hours a month listening to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you hear them say, paranormal's rubbish. And I get that, because to me it is as well. But I've heard it, I've seen it, I've felt it. And
Yeah.
not lots.
Yeah.
I haven't felt it a lot. I don't claim to be some sort of,
Clairvoyant.
magnet for it, I don't, and I realise how crazy it sounds. But the thing is, when it happens to you, it's like adrenaline kicks in.
Yeah, I get like fight or flight, and
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly the same thing. Like, for me, it was your mind goes to the most logical explanation.
and then when it can't in the moment, it's a panic.
It's
isn't it?
fright, and
Yeah.
you've got no other choice. But I've got a question about this later that I'm going to ask you both.
Okay. So, have you any other paranormal stories you want to fill us in on?
I don't think so. I think that's pretty much everything.
Okay, so you've got some questions for us that you said you have prepared.
Yeah, I've got a few questions from the perspective of your fan base, I believe.
Well, I mean, that is just you.
It is just me, but I have tried to, like, if I was Joe Blogs, what would I like to ask two guys what's up?
Well, I'll tell you now, it's a strong 3 inches.
So, the first one that I have is very simple. What is it like hosting a podcast, and what inspired you both to start it?
Tiring, sleep depriving, turns your friends into enemies.
That's
And
100% true.
no, it's very good. I love it. It takes up my time. It's a fantastic hobby. It gives me something to do, which doesn't only mean I go to work with my life.
It really? No, it's not. It's really not. No, I love it. It is a lot of work.
It's a fucking shit ton of fucking work.
It's a lot with the recording time, the editing time, the upload time, Ian creating thumbnails and all the sorts of stuff. It probably is a full-time job all in.
Yeah.
But it's not work.
If you want to pay us for it, Patreon.
That's it. It's a £3
Bonus
tier.
episodes, yeah, absolutely.
Cool, okay.
What inspired us, though, I listen to a lot of podcasts at work, so I just whenever I listen to a podcast, I always think, you're missing out the most important part, or someone will say something about a point, I'm like, yeah, but what about this? I'm like, I need to start a podcast, and I always said it, and then one day I was like, you know what? I've got a Mac, and somebody always said to me, oh, you've got drums, and they're sat on your hallway. Well, my teacher always told me, make them pay. And I applied that logic to my ridiculously expensive computer that I was using for, I don't know, Pornhub.
Still do, to be fair.
Yeah. Absolutely, mate.
Have you learned the drums to that yet, Ian?
You know the intro to every Pornhub video? That's me.
Unfortunately, never the actual content. Just the drummer.
Always just the drummer. But yeah, that's what made me want to start one.
And to be fair, I didn't really, did I?
No, you were like, Ian, you haven't contacted me in years.
Yeah, you are always good at pushing back.
I'd do my best.
Oh, you do.
So you didn't want to start a podcast at all? You weren't interested?
It wasn't that I wasn't interested, but I was overthinking the logistics, whereas Ian's a little bit like, let's just do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what editing software are we going to use? What microphone are we using? And I just overthought everything.
Yeah.
But Ian was like, let's just try it.
Yeah.
So we did a pod test. I
We
think it was
did,
called.
and that was quite funny. I quite enjoyed
That was never released, and I don't think it ever could be.
Will I ever get that? I want that as
We can
part
send
of
it.
my collector's
it.
item.
Have you still got it?
Yeah, we'll have it.
Oh, mate, fucking send it
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, I want that.
You can have it. Yeah, and I just thought, sod it, we'll do it. And we did, and I enjoyed it.
And episode 1 was, at the time, well good. And then you listen back now, and it's like,
it was hilarious, though. That's the thing. It
yeah,
really was
the
funny.
keyword being was.
It's more
For a
than-
first episode,
Yeah.
good job, guys.
It's for me. It was your Jordan, who snogged a monkey and then
It
tickled
takes
your
time
mum.
to get us into these things. I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it definitely was the deadpan Jordan. Yeah.
Okay,
But yeah, I mean, fucking fun in the full swing of things now, and we love it.
cool. I love it. Right, question 2. Is it difficult to find new stories?
I was assuming it would be back in sort of like episode 30. I was like, I'm up to now in the next couple, but now we're getting into the high numbers. And I was thinking to myself, I don't know what the I'm going to do. So I ordered like a shit ton of books. And oddly enough, of the books I've got, I've only used about 10% of them because I will just be like one day walking down the road and I'll be like, oh, the Pascagoula UFO incident. Oh, I'll talk about that. And then I'll research it and I'll be like, oh, this is a good story, actually. So, like, I've got all this knowledge in my head. So it will just pop out randomly. It's like, have you ever been walking down the street and gone like, condolences? Where did that word come from? I wonder what that means. I'll look it up. It's like that with me, but for paranormal stories.
Yeah.
And you say you used about 10% of your books, but you did order about 10,000 books.
We're not supposed to tell them that bit.
So-
They're going to hear
sorry,
10%. They're going to go,
sorry.
oh, that's really good. Yeah.
I'll edit it.
Thank you.
you only got one compilation book. Didn't you? You got
Yeah.
to pass the contents page.
Got C-Spot Run. I was like, well, they're going to help on the fire.
Cool. Right, this is actually question 2.5.
Ooh.
Will we ever get video format of you guys doing your podcasts? Because that's something that I personally would love to see, but I know that would be a lot of work.
Hey, we're ugly as
That isn't true. That's not true.
Okay, you're right. Jordan's ugly as
It's not wrong.
I'm kidding, I love you. But we have an idea for a video format thing that we want to release.
Yes.
Okay.
We're looking for a time when we can do it, essentially. That's it.
Okay.
But still separate to this, I imagine.
Yeah, separate to the
at
main
least for
feed.
now.
Okay.
Have we said what it is before?
We haven't said the name.
Okay.
Do you know what? Do you want to,
Should we do it? Because it's a fucking party.
it is a fucking party.
Oh, what have I created? Go on.
So the name sounds really shit though, doesn't it? But it makes sense in the context of it.
That's kind of hurtful, considering I came up with the name, but whatever.
The name's terrible. No, to try and keep it in fitting with two guys. So the name was just Guys and Drinks.
Yeah.
And the idea is basically, without going into too much depth, we'd each present each other a random, probably unknown drink to each other. So something weird.
So it's like a play off the whole cocktail episode that you did, maybe.
I suppose so,
Yeah.
in a sense, but it's like a legit drink that will hopefully make us vomit.
Yeah.
and we'll just drink that over the course of just spending
Having a chat
40
about.
minutes just around.
I think that's a brilliant idea.
We have the intro. We've got everything set.
All right.
All we need to do is get in a room together and record one.
Okay. Well, I feel like I've unleashed something for the fans there, so I'm happy
You
with that.
fucking have, mate. And,
Yeah. Well, do you know something? I look forward to it. So, third question. What are your opinions on the paranormal?
My
Honest opinions.
Hate it. Wish I'd done something else.
this is why we have to record in separate rooms because all my stories just George uh-huh.
It's really hard to edit out of our...
It is, yeah. If
In
we're
the
in the
same
same room, yeah. I mean, I've gone into great depth about my views on the paranormal.
Yeah.
So I believe it could be a thing which we just don't recognize.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a separate entity. And I mean, I hate saying this because people will just be like, he's a fucking kook.
Let's say that anyway.
This is just what I the closest thing it could be because, like you say, you've heard things, you've seen things, I have as well, and it has to be something. If only 1% of stories is true, then that has to be something. So I believe that it is something else from a higher dimensional plane.
Yeah.
And if that is 1% of stories of the 10% of books that you read, that's
Yep.
still 100,000 books.
My Amazon bill was high.
Well, there's actually a second part to that question before you answer,
Okay.
Jordan. And that is, do you think that science plays a part? And here's where I've got another question on top of that as well.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of quantum tunneling?
I was going to ask you if you...
Into tumbling.
I was going to ask you if you had any sort of views on the sort of quantum mechanics inside of that side of things.
Yeah.
When it comes to the paranormal, because a lot of people just think, "Oh, you're dying, you're a ghost,"
Yeah.
but it comes down to a lot of science that people don't know, and it is quantum physics.
Yeah. So I'm going to answer a question before you answer a question.
Okay.
Is that I've looked online, I've done my research, and quantum tunneling is a real thing. It's what our quantum computers are based off that work. Quantum computers are obviously sort of up and coming, but they will be a thing of the future. No one will use binary computing anymore.
Is this going to be on the test?
Yeah.
I am not taking notes.
So quantum tunneling, just so that people might have an understanding of it, is that two atoms can entangle.
Spooky action at a distance.
Exactly that, Ian. And over any distance, okay? So obviously most people that like science know that data can only travel at the speed of light, because that's the speed limit of the universe. Now, quantum tunneling breaks that law. I'm not going to go too deeply, but two atoms
Thank God.
at the opposite end of the universe can communicate to each other instantaneously.
I've heard that, where they kind of link.
You start rotating one on one side of the universe and instantly on the other side.
No matter
Yeah,
no
it's-
matter the distance. But that could be things like, when people see orbs and things, it could be something to do with quantum tunneling. It could be, I don't know. But I feel that maybe eventually paranormal could be explained by science.
I always say, if
Interesting.
you go back to like the 1800s, people said that magic is just science that hasn't been discovered yet.
Yeah.
So, people used to think that f***ing leeches cured diseases, right? Until someone went, I've got some, what's it called? What are we allergic to?
Penicillin?
That's the one.
Hard work. All right, sorry.
More so.
So, hey, here's some penicillin, by the way. You inject this into your body, you're going to be fine. People are going to be like, you must be a witch because that's magic.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden that becomes science because
Yeah.
it becomes accepted. And
Okay.
just because it hasn't been accepted by a group of f***ing people in white coats doesn't mean it's not real.
Calm down, Ian, it's fine.
No, but that's the thing. Witchcraft, now we would describe it as chemistry.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That's the thing. So, yeah, Jordan.
Okay. Oh, and we're not going to burn any chemists at the stake, are we?
Not yet.
Okay, that's fine. I really wanted to.
What is your true opinion on paranormal?
Don't know where I stand because I've not experienced it, but I'm really open to it. And I would never really put someone down for saying, I've had this experience, because, yeah, you probably have. Who am I to say against that? But I'm comfortably on the fence.
Yeah, I respect that totally. That's where I am still.
But you'll have leant over, though, more than I have.
I don't think it's as simple as that. I don't think because I've experienced something, because I doubt myself all the time about it.
Okay.
And I think because I've never been a sleepwalker, and I think, was sleepwalking? Is it something to do with sleep? Something to do with consciousness? That's the thing. My brain always goes to logic.
Which I think is a good thing to have.
Yeah,
Have you ever heard of Occam's razor?
I have. I know exactly what Occam's razor is.
Okay, so the most simplest explanation is probably almost likely the truest
Yeah.
one. So maybe you weren't asleep.
But which is the simplest? Is it logic or paranormal?
Okay, think about the last dream you had.
Yep.
What do you remember? Do you remember walking down the street and you couldn't move your hands and all of a sudden you're in a f***ing shopping mall? And think back to that night and how does that differ from a dream?
Yeah.
So which is more logical? Which is more likely?
I would bet life savings that it happened.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as much firm belief as you can put into that.
Well, there you have it, folks. Go surreal.
But that's the thing, I still doubt it. Despite me feeling so strongly about it, I still doubt it.
Probably, not to put words in your mouth or other things. I imagine you're thinking that because that breaks our quote-unquote norm for what we're brought up to learn and know about what we think of the world.
Yeah.
Rather than because maybe that is what you really believe.
That's the thing, I don't know. I question myself and I question my own reality when I think about those things.
Yeah.
Of course.
Best way to be. Stay
Yeah,
curious.
absolutely.
Yeah. This is question number 5.
Okay.
What are your worst fears? Right.
Aliens.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's sort of more of a Jordan question, really.
Back away, Ian.
What are your worst fears and where do you believe they stem from?
To be honest, I have no idea where it stems from. When I was a lot younger, like 13 or something, I looked up, why would people be scared of aliens? And fucking the Google went, me, mommy. And
The irony that was an alien.
it said, the fear of aliens might stem from being abducted. And I was like, oh God, I'm obviously an abductee. I didn't know that terminology at the time. I have no idea where it came from. I just hate them.
Would you call it a fear?
Oh yeah, complete irrational
Like,
fear.
as in, not just like, oh, I'm scared of, cabbages.
Yeah, it's not like like, oh, I don't like needles. No, I cannot look at
And
one.
I get it. but I don't get it at the same time.
No, you're completely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole reason. It's an irrational fear. And I mean, I guess that's very similar to the whole paranormal thing. You know, I have this fear, but you can look at it and be like, I can't see it, mate. You know, it's a very similar thing to the paranormal.
Thing is, I think that if extraterrestrials were to come to Earth's atmosphere,
Yeah.
I think everyone would all of a sudden have your fear.
Probably, yeah. And then who's laughing?
Well, not you.
Not you.
Not you.
Cowering like a bitch.
Until I see one, I'm like, you all thought I was,
So, what about you, Jordan? Is zombies your fear?
I mean, I'm scared of probably a lot of things in life. No one loving me.
Commitment. Boobs.
Friendship.
Oh, I love you.
Thank you. Zombies is sort of the thing that I go to as being like, yeah, I'm really kind of frightened of the thought of it, but for no reason other than I think they're horrible. And that whole idea of something kind of just slowly chasing you down, really, and relentless because you have to sleep, they don't.
Yeah.
And they will catch up to you.
And they have no emotions off you, and you can't reason with them.
I implore you to read a book by Max Brooks called
Got it. Zombie Survival Guide.
The Zombie Survival
I
Guide.
own that book.
And you haven't read it.
So I did read it, and it kind of made it feel real.
Yeah, it does. It makes you want to buy a machete.
It was like, prepare for this apocalypse yesterday.
Yeah. Which scares you the most? Day of the Living Dead, zombies, you know, the slow. Or 28 Days Later, zombies.
Or anal from Paul.
Definitely not there.
2 inches of link to hurt, mate.
Probably the 28 Days Later one.
Yeah.
The speedy ones.
Yeah. I can't run fast at the best of times. I've got no chance then.
Yeah, you're
I'll
right.
look after you, mate.
There is a right answer to that question. Yeah.
I tell you what, I'll make you a deal right now. If the aliens come, you destroy them for me.
Okay.
And if the zombies come, I will be their destroyer for you.
Fine.
Well, I've got 2 questions for you, Ian, to put you to the test to that, because I know the answers, because I read Zombie Survival Guide. What is the first 2 things you need to do in a zombie apocalypse?
Oh, mate, have a good really clear the pipes. Make sure you're not going to have other things on your mind. And then if any zombies come by and look in the window, they're going to think you're one of them because you sat there going,
Yeah, well, that's incorrect.
Oh.
Literally.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, go on then. What is the first thing?
Okay, the first thing you do is you fill all of your sinks and your baths up with fresh water, because the chances are the water's going to go off in a zombie apocalypse.
Right. Well, you don't want to fill your bath with it if it's going to go off because, you don't want to be walking around a stinky house.
The second thing you do is destroy the stairs.
Oh, yeah, because they can't get up there. But then I always remember this because, like, if you do something like destroy your stairs, sure, it stops them from getting to you, but it also stops you getting out.
Not without a ladder, doesn't? Or any sort of crude 2x4s in the wall that zombies aren't going to know what to do with that, You could just screw a few bits of wood into the wall and you've got yourself a ladder.
Or you could just, when in Rome, screw a few zombies.
I'll leave that to you.
I'm pretty sure it is an STD as well.
Okay, right.
Nobody's thought of that before.
That'll be hilarious if you're like, oh, God, Ian, the zombies are here. And I'm like, I'll take care of them. Dive headfirst out the window. You see this?
Oh, that's horrible. Decaying.
Decaying.
Okay. Yeah, he did it. He said it.
Lovely.
Okay, so would you ever do an episode based on fictional horror or paranormal? Examples are SCPs and the Backrooms.
To be honest, I like to keep all my stories ones that are reportedly true.
Yep.
Because if we start doing ones, or I start doing segments that are based on pop culture and creepypastas and stuff like that, there is actually one that I was going to do, but I did a bit of research on it and found that it's probably a creepypasta, so I didn't do it.
Oh.
But yeah, I there's no point because I like it to be reportedly true.
I get that, yeah.
Whereas I love that kind of stuff, and I would love to hear it.
Whereas you love made up shit. You're like, the top 10 best planets that have visited Disneyland this year. Number 1, Pluto.
Well, I mean things like, because I'm personally a big fan of SCP, so it's a bit of a self-serving question. A lot of the SCPs, which are obviously fictional, so we think,
Drip feeding.
a lot of them are based on real things. And then you think, is that maybe what it could be? Because, I mean, a lot of people think the SCP universe is like conspiracy-based.
Right.
And most people think, it's just rubbish.
It's the sort of thing that in 10 years are going to be like, oh, that was real. They were drip feeding it to
Yeah,
us.
but a lot of them are made up, and they're obviously made up. They're really well thought out, but at the end of the day, I was just wondering if you'd ever do anything like that,
Well, Ian, you just had to piss on that fire, didn't you?
I
No.
did, yeah.
No, I agree.
I do like the stories that are more reported to be true. Cause if I tell a story, like the SCP, so, people go, okay, that's interesting, but for the people that I like to think might be listening to it, they're going to go, okay, well, that's not giving me any proof or evidence or anything otherwise. It's not swayed my mind anyway or what or not, and it's not made me think, oh, the paranormal might be real or whatever. They're just going, okay, that's a cool story, bro. It's like a bedtime story kind of thing. But I like to talk more about the stories that have physical evidence. Like, for example, the Captain Schaffner that went down over the North Sea.
Yeah.
Like, that did happen.
Yeah.
It's not as if, like, you said, oh, I'm talking about some guy going, oh, you saw a ghost in the woods. And you're like, well, he said it did happen. It is not a fictional story. He said it did happen.
Yeah.
Like, they picked a plane out of the fucking ocean and this guy was gone.
Yeah.
So that is true.
That stuff's amazing.
Yeah. That kind of shit that I love, which is just literally, it's a mystery. That's the stuff I love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that, yeah.
Like, logically, there is very little explanation to that.
Yeah.
Right, last question from me and the fans.
Bring it. I love it.
When are we going to go to the Pontefract?
Oh, I love it.
I'd
I
fucking love to go.
really would.
Yeah, tomorrow?
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, it's a minibus outside.
Because I feel that, and do you know something? I don't even need to go. I just want you to, minimum requirement, I want you two to go and record and stay there. I'd love to hear an episode of you going and recording, setting up some mics and staying up and doing that. Like, that'd be incredible.
I'd love to go. But it's fairly expensive.
Yeah.
And also you have to book really far in advance, don't you?
You do, yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm not against doing that.
Okay, well, I now have you on recording saying that.
Yeah.
Well, not to fund it, but
Yeah.
to book it. Yeah, no, I'd love it.
Yeah, ASAP.
I always wondered, though, envisioned, if we did do that, would we...
Sleep together?
No, we'd have to stay up, wouldn't we?
Oh,
So,
Yeah, you'd absolutely... Didn't James Cobbett go to that house?
James Kibbity Copper did go to that house. He had some spooky experiences.
Yeah, with the coins?
With some coins or some dolls. He stayed in the house. He had some bangs. He got caught mid-whack. We left that story out there, didn't we?
Yes. Yeah, we'll have to cut that one out as
Who
well,
caught
if I
him?
remember. It was the cleaner the next day. It's like, you should have gone 2 hours ago.
Yeah, what are you still doing here?
It's like it's been difficult in this house. But I always wondered, though, if we did go, would we take some drinks and kind of make a bit of a chilled night of it? Or would it just be, I want to remain sober so we know what is happening, if it does, is not skewed?
I'd like you to remember who you're talking to. So if it were up to me, yeah, take some drinks. But I'm not sure you're allowed to.
How will they know?
Yeah.
Well, you just fucking said it on a podcast that they could easily find.
Well, I didn't say we will.
If they search for it.
When they search for it, given how popular we are.
Google, are there people talking about drinking in our hotel rooms next year?
Preemptive. He's got it. He knows.
It's flashing lights outside.
Yeah.
They know.
It's him.
But yeah, I'd love to go.
The thing I was thinking about when we were planning on going in the first place is the fact that we didn't have 3 microphones. It'd be difficult for 3 of us to record, but look at us now!
Yeah, and there's a part B to that question.
Ooh.
Well, I've just literally thought of it right now.
Nice.
So, I've just thought of something else.
Oh, God.
Oh,
There's part C as well.
right. So I live in a small town called Guiseley, which
Yeah.
is like a borough of
You
Leeds.
sure you want to dox yourself like that?
Yeah, it's fine. I don't think people are going to come with the pitchforks anytime soon.
We know where Moonback lives!
Yeah, Moonback's going down.
It's just Moonback that listens anyway, so...
So there's a very famous old, well, I don't know what the correct term is, but it's an insane asylum.
Okay.
An old one.
Okay.
Right, what is it? And we'll sort it out now.
Psychiatric ward.
Possibly
Central-
something, yeah, like a hospital.
Psychiatric hospital. So there's an old, unused psychiatric hospital in Guiseley, which is called Hyroids, which is not used anymore. It's been turned into a housing estate, a really posh housing estate in Guiseley. The bell tower is there. It's all the original buildings.
And it has 4 walls.
It's got many walls.
And it has a roof.
There are hundreds of houses and flats in this place.
And they all have doors.
It's normally how flats work.
Now, Hyroids is quite famous. The Killers did a song called Hyroids because one of the guys from Killers was from Guiseley. He used to hang around it as a kid.
Right.
Did the police pick him up? I mean, having a name like the Killers,
Yeah, actually, Ian's got a point. But no, anyway, this place was renowned for its bad behaviour, I suppose. There was the whole, lobotomy thing going on there.
Oh,
and
Lord.
there was like a secret tunnel underground that they used to take the dead patients that, they didn't want to declare. They would take them underground to the nearest graveyard and dump all the body. It was like really bad.
Wow.
Right. Ian's making a gesture at me, not repeating it.
With his hand in his mouth.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Anyway, there was a lot of history there. The internet must be full of stories about Hyroids, and I think you guys would have a field day.
Send me that.
Yeah, I will.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, Just get on it with you.
You got it, bro.
And that's it for the questions. I hope I've done the fans a duty.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I think we should just fucking skip all the shits.
Don't be offended.
No, that was fantastic. Thank you, Paul. You've paid your due diligence to the audience members. I'm sure all the people sitting at home thinking, thank God he asked those questions. That's exactly what I want to know. But anyway, I digress, because Jordan has taken the time to give us a fucking insane Mad Libs Part 5.
Is it a part 5?
It must be.
Wow.
I believe
probably.
it is. It's been a while. I hope you don't mind flexing your acting skills, and it's going to take a while to go through, because it does take a long time.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, it's a Two Guys What's Up, first time doing a 3-part Mad Libs special.
Oh,
Hell yeah. I've called it Mad Libs Threeway.
Oh, I'm horny.
You've already read the first bit.
Right, so Mad Libs.
Okay.
I'm excited.
I am excited.
So, Paul, could you give me a sound a bird makes?
Toot.
That was beautiful. Ian, could you give me a random number?
43.
And Paul, a fictional place?
Middle Earth.
Very good. Ian, can you give me a silly word?
Froimp.
How are you saying that?
It's F-R-O-I-M-P. Froimp.
Wow.
Paul, how about a combination of syllables you think no one has put together before?
Flimpump. That's quite accurate, to be honest.
Hi.
The first and last name of a teacher you had.
I'm struggling to remember
make
any
it up.
first name. Gary Howell.
I remember that guy. He was a cool guy.
Perfect.
Science teacher. Hey, it's me, Gary Hall. I'm here to teach you about the periodic table. He was a smooth talker.
Ian, could you give me an amount of time?
14 seconds, Jordan. How long I take in bed, actually?
Paul, the scariest insect you might see at a zoo.
Praying mantis.
Praying mantis.
Praying mantis. Well, like, is a plumber.
It's praying mantis.
Is it praying?
Yeah, praying.
Oh, I always thought it was prying.
Well, I suppose you could think of it that way. Like a
Have you always thought that?
yeah,
I really have.
praying.
You know, because the arms are like that.
Oh, I see. That
Yeah.
makes sense. I thought it was like ready to just like get someone.
Fucking jump on you.
Yeah. Ian, how about a verb ending in ing? Paul, something you can wear.
Tent.
Perfect.
You looked like you were, like, 100-yard gaze then, right? But you were remembering some shit.
Yeah.
A tent.
Oh, school trip year 5.
Ian, could you give me an adjective?
Humongously stinky. Just accept it.
We'll go for it.
Yeah, just accept it. That's the way we work on this podcast.
And if it doesn't work, it's on you.
That's fair enough, yeah.
And 2 body parts as well, please, Paul.
Elbow and uterus.
Yeah, 2 very different body parts. I like it. Ian, a serious medical emergency.
Oh, mate. Vasectomy. Yes, I'm getting drunk. Don't point it out.
Doesn't need to be.
The most serious of them all. Yeah.
You've got kids. You know.
Paul, how about something you might do when you're bored?
Vasectomy.
Got this penknife.
Paint a post box.
Okay. Paul, how about multiples of a medical device that can save a life?
Syringes.
Ian, a thing you don't want to hear your waiter say to you.
I'm sorry, I've in your soup.
Sorry, I brought it anyway. But I've covered yours. Sorry. Yeah, my apologies.
Brilliant. Okay. Paul, a random number.
1002.
Ooh.
Ian, something you would find in an industrial kitchen.
Fuck off ladle. It's like, when you're not getting angry at a ladle, you're just thinking, I've got to serve a fucking 1,000 tons of soup. Pass me the fuck off ladle.
I'll go with it
Wow.
at this point.
What a brilliant perspective.
Paul, an event that you can celebrate.
Circumcision.
Ian, something you would hide if a guest came to your house.
My butt plug.
Paul, could you rephrase the words, guide you to safety, but as if it was from a small child?
Take you to nice place.
Great. That's perfect.
Never leaving you with my kids.
Ian, a random plural object.
Crockery. That's a plural, isn't it?
Yeah,
Crockery.
yeah. Crockery.
The singular being crockery.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Paul, a type of dance.
Gangnam Style.
Oh, this would be a good one for you, Ian. The last YouTube video you watched on your phone.
Get your phone out. Don't wing it. I want to hear it.
Okay, right. This will be the God's honest truth. The Forever Autumn instrumental version from War of the Worlds. Is that funny enough for you?
Oh, War of the Worlds. Oh, what a surprise.
Oh, what a surprise.
Paul, a celebrity.
Borat.
A real person.
No, a real person. Okay, fine. I'm
Oh, my God.
Okay, not the celebrity I had in mind, but fair enough. Ian, a verb.
Felching.
What's felching? Tell me.
When you eat out someone else's dog hole.
Ah.
Paul, what was the last question you probably Googled?
Do you want me to just look?
If you want.
Oh my God.
Now I can't wait, yeah.
Yeah, it's so underwhelming. Things to use as a bookmark.
Brilliant. Was the first answer a bookmark, you idiot?
Yeah, I was trying to be creative.
Tried a garden gnome, it didn't work. Ian, a body part.
Ankle.
The nickname you might give a motorcycle biker.
Paul has strong feelings on motorcycle bikers.
Ian, I don't really want to ask you, but I'm going to have to.
Go for it.
The best pickup line.
I'll in your soup.
Soup of the day.
Soup of the day. Come back to my house.
Question mark.
And last two, Paul, a birthday wish you had as a kid.
Wish I could meet Michael Jackson.
And Ian, a birthday wish you have as an adult.
To have a weekend away with my wife.
Okay.
The first honest answer all night.
Yeah,
Help
pretty
me.
much.
Help me, please.
Okay, I'm going to send it to you both.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Starting scene. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard Toot Airlines, Flight 43 with non-stop service to Middle Earth with a local time of 12:36. I'm Ron Freund.
And I'm Mr. Flimplepemp.
And I am Mark, but you can call me Gary Howell. Now, we do apologise for the 14 seconds delay. We are stalled because praying mantis are pissing on the runway.
But before we depart on this flight, we kindly ask that you remove your tent and pay attention to the following humongously stinky safety announcement. You may find your safety briefing card in the pocket of the seat in front of you.
Please remain seated wherever the fasten seatbelt sign is illuminated. Fasten your seatbelt by placing the metal fitting into the buckle and adjust the strap so it fits low and tight on the elbow, but not the uterus, to prevent injuries or vasectomy.
True.
The captain will turn off the fasten seatbelt sign, indicating it is safe again to continue painting a post box.
Please ensure all of your electronic devices, including smartphones, tablets, and syringes, are turned off and stowed in the overhead locker or under the seat in front of you.
If we see you using one, we will kindly come up to you and tell you, I'm sorry, I've covered your soup. I saw that coming.
Can you imagine them whispering to you, I'm sorry.
I knew that was going to come back to bite me.
Oh, there are 1,002 exits on the aircraft. Please take a moment to look around and find the nearest fuck-off ladle. Note that your nearest may be behind you.
In the event of a circumcision, a butt plug will drop down from above your seat. Please ensure that you secure your own before applying your child. That's all your fault, Ian.
And And in the extremely unlikely event of a loss of the aircraft's electrical power, low-level emergency lights will illuminate the walkway and take you to a nice place.
All exits are indicated by lighted crockery. Importantly, please everyone remain calm and continue to Gangnam style in your seats.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, for our in-flight entertainment today is a YouTube clip of Forever Autumn instrumental from War of the Worlds and a bonus documentary about Anne learning.
This is all your fault, Ian.
He said Anne so I have to complete that sentence. Learning to felch.
If you have any questions like things to use as a bookmark, don't hesitate to ask by raising your ankle and waving it.
Now, this holiday season, we at Toot Airlines hope you get to meet Michael Jackson.
We also wish you get to have a weekend away with your wife.
Thank you for flying with Toot Airlines, and on behalf of the captain, and on behalf of Captain Twat, and all of us,
I'll come in your soup.
End scene.
Oh,
good job.
that was fantastic.
That was brilliant. I loved it. We should bring Mad Libs back. I don't know why it's been so long.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you very
That was
much.
fun.
Fantastic.
That was really good.
So, I mean, I guess we're running pretty fucking long.
Maybe a bit.
So, does that about bring us round to the end of today's episode?
I thought we were halfway through.
Halfway through? I mean, I'm pretty sure my parents are going to kick us out.
Probably.
Oh, actually, just before we stop,
Oh.
Paul, you said just before we got here that there was some questions. You said you didn't know if there'd be time for them, so just give you the piece of paper if I thought there'd be time.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think there's time, so I've got it. It's paper. So we'll just here you go.
Okay.
I don't know what these say, by the way. I haven't read them.
Of
Yeah,
course.
well,
thought I'd
I've
keep it
never
as a
seen this in my
surprise.
life.
I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure this isn't Ian's handwriting.
Well, mate, you gave it to me. Do you want me to turn the light up so you can read?
Okay, do you want me to just read?
Mate, it's your questions, mate. So read it how you want.
Okay. Deep questions for my favies. Well, not Jordan.
It's a bit mean, that, isn't it? Really.
Number 1. Jordan, when did you decide? Yep, it's the third life of me.
No comment.
Must have been an early age. I mean, you've been like this since I.
I'm gonna fucking my pants. Stop.
It's the first guest we killed off.
Oh god. Oh god. Stop. Number 2. Ian.
Yeah.
Just how did you get to be so great?
Well, mate, it's just a long life of lots of mixed experiences. I think it's taking in everything I can get. Putting it into one personality.
Okay, cool.
Thanks for asking, Paul.
You're welcome.
I think you've got one more question there, do you?
Yeah, number 3. Guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know I said that at the end of this there would be blowjobs all around, but Jordan, I've seen your pecker, and I know it doesn't look like it would fill a thimble. So I hope you don't mind. Actually, I don't care. I don't care. Your poor wife.
What was the last bit?
P.S. Ian, you've got a long cock. God.
Oh, well, thanks for the questions, Paul.
That's some very deep questions, Paul. Thanks very much for that, mate.
No.
They were quite literally hard hitting.
Oh yeah, so hard, so hard that I can genuinely feel like I can't breathe.
Oh my god.
So hard I could fill a thimble.
Oh my god.
Woo! Right, and with that, does that about bring us round to the end of today's episode?
I think it better do.
Fantastic. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Two Guys What's Up.
Can I go home now? I did what you asked.
Just read the script, mate.
Don't forget to follow the show wherever you listen so you don't miss another episode, and maybe even tell a friend. Tell your friend to send Ian lots of belated birthday gifts. He's a size sexy.
Thank you, Paul. It's very kind of you to say.
And if you would like to get in touch with us, our Linktree link is in the bio of this episode, which you can click on and be jetted off to every link you will ever need for all your Two Guys What's Up essentials. Want to get your own Two Guys What's Up t-shirt? Click the link.
Want to ride Toot Airlines? Click the link.
Want to fill a bell pepper with click the link.
And our Patreon is a place to go to find all of your Two Guys What's Up extra essentials, including pin badges, shout-outs, t-shirts, and if you really can't get enough of our fantastic tales and dramatic voices, well then now you can get more, because for the last 17 fucking months, we have been releasing bonus episodes on the last Friday of every single month. There is about 17 sitting up there right now waiting for your ears to just go and have a little bit of a fucking gobble all around that little extra audio goodness, and all that is available right now, starting with the bonus episodes for just £3 a month.
Bargainers of bargains. So if you want to help support the show and get some cool stuff while you do so, head over to patreon.com/Two Guys What's Up to check out all the goodies over there. The link will be down below for your pleasure.
But if you can't do that, but you still like to help us out, then a 5-star rating and review in your podcast app of choice would be the best way to do that for us, and we would be eternally grateful. But on that note, thanks for listening.
You have an amazing week.
Hey, that's my line.
And we will see you next Monday.
What is going on here?
Bye!
You disrespected! I hate it! Oh, you're my
How do you even spell crockery?
Oh,
With an
now
I
you
at
can't
the end.
spell! Everyone, Jordan's stupid.
My stepson came up with an interesting one. We were sat at the table and he said, I can't use my... We thought he was going to say cutlery.
Right.
And he said cuttery.
Cutter-
And we went to correct him. And then we went, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, someone said to me the other day, do you know that creepy fucking bug? That's called a praying mantis. And I was like,
Oh,
no.
yeah, what a whacker.
That's called a praying mantis. But then you stop and think, and you think, you know what? That is probably actually more accurate.
I wholeheartedly agree with whoever said that. In fact, they're genius.
They are. I mean, yeah, what you said, genius. Yeah.